and then also coached by high school coaches.
Where our guest on the YSN hotline is Columbiana head baseball coach Ryan Wolf. Coach Wolf, how are you today, sir?
I'm doing good. Thank you.
Oh, fantastic. All right, so the spring season wiped out. We will never know where Columbiana would have finished in the tournament, let alone in the EOAC. But we move forward, and you have a brand new league that is being formed. Tell us a little bit about this brand new league, Coach.
Yeah, so talking to a lot of the other local high school coaches, we're all disappointed that we didn't have a season. And with the state, typically we've been allowed 10 days in the summer to work with our kids. And last year we experimented and played some games. So this year we wanted to expand it a little bit. So we are also not limited on amount of days. So we can play really as many games we want through June, July, and August. But we're talking June and July. And, we got together and wanted to form, these are for the kids that aren't playing. Well, I mean, they can play with us too, but that aren't playing Class B, that aren't playing summer. I mean, Tri-T canceled, Mill Creek canceled. So we're looking to give kids an opportunity to play, and then also coached by high school coaches. That gives us an opportunity to work with our kids.
Coach Wolf, what is the age group on the on the league that you guys are opening up?
So it's high school, kids coming into high school, but a lot of them might be playing, at least in the Columbiana County area, their league is still happening, the Pony League, but through seniors that just graduated. So really 18-year-olds, they have that opportunity to play. They lost the whole season, so we wanted to give them that opportunity to play. And I think, some of them are taking advantage, some aren't, which is okay. They've kind of moved on, which was expected. They graduated already, but we're really giving anybody the opportunity to play.
How many teams are in this league, and who are they?
So right now we have 6 confirmed teams, and we're waiting on a couple other teams to let me know about players. We might have to merge some teams in that way. But Columbiana, South Range, Western Reserve, United, Salem, and Lisbon have all confirmed. Beaver Local's got a couple players that are going to play with Lisbon, and then Crestvew's working, Springfield's working to see. We might have to combine some stuff that way, but they're all local teams, and it gives us an opportunity. We'll probably play everybody 2, 3, maybe even 4 times, but it's just a good opportunity to see our guys and see the competition, and it's good competition.
Coach, is this going to be open for all of the schools in Columbiana County?
Yeah, I set on a survey early in April. Looking for interest, and this is kind of where we've gotten, and then I pushed out. But I don't know everybody, so that's another nice thing about talking with YSN, and we did an interview yesterday with WKBN to let people know that this is something that if they want to get involved in, they can. It's ultimately a school district decision. Each district's different when it comes to facilities and what they're allowing, and that's a big key of it. A lot of what we look at is it's similar to like a summer basketball league or a football 7-on-7. And I've been on the phone all day today, talking about a lot of different aspects that come up as we get further along into it when it comes to, insurance and all those sort of things, and making sure everybody's safe and covered. And obviously we cover all the stuff that the state has put out in the Department of Health of what's required with baseball, and we're looking at our facilities and talking to our athletic departments. But yeah, anybody really can get open. There's not like league standings and those sort of things. We just want to give kids an opportunity to play. So, that's the ultimate goal. And, even at this point, anybody can join in.
Coach, where are the venues? I mean, where are you going to be playing games this year?
So right now, all the schools that I've mentioned are going to be able to play at their home facilities. If Springfield does get in right now, they're not. The school has made decisions they're holding off, which is perfectly okay. So really, like Lisbon's playing at their home field, we're playing at the park. South Range, the high school, Western Reserve, United are all playing, at their home facility. Salem at their place. So, it's good. The one big difference is like it's up to the coaches to take care of the fields and make sure that they get them ready because it's out of school. It's not school season.
Have you nailed down an umpiring situation yet? Is it going to be volunteer umpires, or is it going to be coach umpired, or what?
So umpires kind of each coach is kind of responsible to provide their own umpire, whether it is, some schools talk about an assistant coach doing it that might be an umpire. I have an umpire that wants to do all my home games. So, in that way, that's kind of what we're responsible for. If we don't have an umpire for a game, and we've all agreed yesterday, we had a meeting that, really it's okay. We can have a coach out there. We're going to stand behind the pitcher to call balls and strikes. So we just have one umpire, and, that's kind of, it gets us to make sure that we play. But I know a lot of umpires are probably looking for work, so we'd love to have them.
Obviously, the Governor DeWine has said that the schools, and I don't know if this is updated or not, but he had said the schools would not be open through the end of June. Are you going to have a situation where you have to wait till the end of June to play your games, or has that been updated, Coach?
That was updated last Thursday. So last Thursday, Lieutenant Governor Houston said that working with the OHSAA, they kind of opened up all sports to start training. And then the sports such as baseball and softball would be able to play games as they had talked about the week before. That was a big issue with the school facility through June 30th. And with the last update last week, it's a school decision whether they want to open their facilities or not. So many of the schools are open their weight rooms, they're open their gyms for basketball to come in. There's definitely specific stipulations they have to have, the way that the numbers of people, what they have to do cleanliness-wise, what types of drills they're allowed to use to do. But with that, with baseball facilities, we are allowed, if the school allows it, which the ones that I mentioned are, they're going to, we have stipulations we have to follow, and then we all worked with our athletic departments, our administration to come up with facility requirements, and we're going to be able to use them. Yeah.
Coach, if someone is outside of the teams that you just mentioned, if someone from an outside school is interested in taking part in playing with this league, what number should they call? How do they contact you?
The best way would just be by email. My email is ryan.wolf@columbianaschools.org. We have, like my team, we have a kid from East Palestine playing with us. And like I mentioned, Lisbon's got some Beaver local kids that I believe are going to play, and we might be moving some other people around. But I even got an email this morning for a parent from Campfield looking for possibly playing. So, that is something that we want to have that opportunity. It is something. I'm working with Columbiana kids because we didn't have a season, and those kids are eager to play. But I know there's a lot of other kids out there that want to get that opportunity, and sometimes the only reason a school isn't able to have a team is because so many of their players are playing travel ball or Class B. So that's a really good thing. My goal was I didn't want to see anybody that didn't play baseball this year at all because there wasn't a league for them to go, or they maybe didn't have time to go to Class B, or the cost of travel ball, or they play football, basketball, and it's just a time commitment thing. This is an opportunity that's pretty open. There's a lot of leeway, as long as we have enough players to play in games.
Coach, there are a handful of seniors that are probably playing in this league. Is there a plan to have a quote-unquote senior night or some kind of ceremony for them in the summer?
Well, so for Columbiana specifically, I can speak for that. I've talked to United. We're going to open up with our first game doing a senior night. I had 8 seniors this year. I contacted them a couple of days ago to gauge their interest, because a couple are interested in playing throughout the summer, but not all of them. So I wanted to see what their interest was in playing one more game at Firestone, one last chance. And they were all for it, so for the most part. So we are going to have a senior night, and United's got 3 seniors, and we're going to honor them at our place. And, it's really up to the school how they want to do it, and each team. But, I think this is an opportunity to get some of the seniors out there, whether it's one last time or one last season.
Ryan Wolf, Columbiana Clippers head baseball coach, talking about a brand new league that they are forming 6 teams, anywhere from 15 to 18 years of age. Kids are welcome. If you want to jump on board and play this year in this league, you can contact Coach Wolf via an email, ryan.wolf, that's ryan.wolfe at columbianaschools.org. Coach, is this going to be a yearly league, or is this just a one-and-done league?
Hey, real quick before I forget, I have no E on my last name, so it's
Gotcha.
Ryan.Wolf, W-O-L-F.
Okay, my mistake.
No problem at all. So it is something that we did last year. We've been looking at to continue. It'll depend on interest, and I think it'll vary year to year, but it is something that we kind of want to do every year. It'll look different in the future. So this year the state has given us that freedom to work with our kids every single day if we choose. So we are spreading our games out, and we're going to play like 15 to 20 games during the season, spread out through June and July. Typically, we only get 10 days of contact in the summer, so we would have to play all our games within those 10 days. We had talked before we knew the unlimited about going 10 doubleheaders, or 5 doubleheaders and then 5 just single games. So it would look a little bit different, but yeah, this is something that I know there are schools in Akron that have been doing it for a long time, and up in Cleveland, but it's kind of new in our area. And a lot of it's because they've had other opportunities, whether it's the Tri-T or Class B, which are great. But as you get closer in Columbiana County, it seems like we're less and less are playing. So this gives them a chance to play with their school, with their friends, with their high school coaches.
It's a fantastic idea, and hopefully it is an idea that is going to provide an awful lot of greatness on the baseball diamond for years to come. Coach, fantastic job, and we look forward to seeing this product very, very soon. When does this season open?
So we're still working on our schedule right now, but we're looking probably June 13th, having a couple games, and really getting rolling June 15th as kind of the start. Schools are like, we're going to start practicing June 1st. I know a lot of us are. We need a couple weeks to build our arms. And then even the first couple weeks of games are going to be shorter games, depending on numbers, maybe 5-inning games, because we really care about the arm health of our pitchers. So they haven't thrown for a couple months. So it's a slower build-up. Typically we have 5 weeks of preseason to build up our arms. We're going to have 2 weeks of practices, but in reality we're going to have 3 to 5 weeks of preseason with some of those shorter games to throw 30, 45, 60 pitches before we get into the full 7-inning games. So that's kind of what we're looking at, but we need some time to practice. It's been a while since anybody's been out on a diamond, so I'm just looking forward to getting out there with hitting some balls around and having some fun.
I know there's going to be some football coaches that are going to hope and pray that you guys are finished long before the start of football season.
Yeah, I understand completely with football. Football starting at the beginning of August. Our goal is to be done probably that next to last week in July. We're going to see how June goes and look at it. We want to do a tournament around mid-July towards the end of our regular season, something that's a little bit more intense than maybe the regular season and kind of have a nice finish. But I know we're working with our football and basketball coaches, and we're very open to sharing our players, especially our small schools in our area. We share a lot of players, so I think that's something that we can all work together as coaches because we all have the same goal, and having these kids this opportunity to do it. And I think for our sport, just in general, baseball, losing a full year without getting kids out on the field to play and realizing that what they've missed is it's important for our sport just to keep it growing and keep it the quality of baseball that we have in our area, to keep that up.
You mentioned a tournament or a hopeful tournament towards the end of the season. So does that mean that there's hopes of there being a quote-unquote league champion this year?
Yeah, I mean, it would be a little bit different than what we would have seen in the high school season. Our teams that we're fielding are a little bit different, but at the same time, we will. Yeah, well, that's the goal, is to just have something. We talked about getting some trophies and those sort of things, and just having that opportunity to have some sort of championship and have some sort of competition, because I think that would really feed us into the following year. I know the state tournament really does that. It either really gets those younger players like excited because it's a different brand of baseball, different intensity, and that's kind of like the hope. If everything goes well during the regular season, that we can build that up in the, and by mid-July we'll know, the world's changing every single day, so things might be a little bit different, and how we want to run it and the intensity and some of the things that we can do might be a little bit different at that time. But this is a good experiment for everything for sports, to see how we can run it and the guidelines. And, I think our players and our coaches will have no problem following everything that's set out for us to do because, our number one is the safety of our kids and our coaches and our fans. So, if we do that and we do it right, I think we could really have it will lead us into something really exciting in mid-June tournament-wise.
Coach, is there a monetary cost when it comes to signing up for this league?
So really it's per school, what they need. So whether it's if they have to buy shirts for uniforms, or if they're using something that's old, if they have to, field materials, a big one, and just paying for umpires. So, per league or per team, it's a little bit different. There is no league cost. We say that we're a league. In reality, we're just a name. We're calling ourselves a league. But we are just a group of coaches that are coming together to say, hey, South Range and Columbiana are playing on this date. Here's the field. We're coming together. We don't have like a president, league charter, or anything like that. So we don't have any money in that aspect. It's really just up to the team. And then we're looking at some different things insurance-wise that could have a monetary cost. But we're trying to keep it low for each team. That's our goal. We think we can be well below anything that they even would have done it. Even some of the Colt League and those sort of things. So just to get them that opportunity.
And kids from outside, and I'm going to bring up my alma mater because Leetonia is not part of this right now. Let's say a couple of kids from Leetonia decide they want to play in this league. They would contact you via an email, and you would assign them to a team?
Yeah, so that's the goal. If I hear from kids, I've already been in the works with, the kid I got, from Campfield, and even some other kids like we talked about from Beaver Local. So yeah, we would try to find them. We want to make sure that they're somewhere where they're going to play a lot. And then we also got to look at the commitment. So we know that every game you're going to have enough players, but I don't want to just stick kids with teams that they're never going to play because the numbers, there's too many. So that's a little bit new. But if I do get a bunch, we'll definitely figure that out. And, hopefully even, get more teams ultimately put together.
And obviously going hand in hand with the OHSAA and their rules, because you want to make sure that the soon-to-be freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and seniors aren't going to be penalized if this isn't if there's rules that are broken via the OHSAA rules. So I'm assuming you guys are hand in hand with the OHSAA on this.
Right, yeah, we follow it completely, what they have stipulated. I mentioned before the 10-day rule. Now that's gone. We have unlimited contact through the end of August. Typically in August was a no-contact period. That's gone. They've kind of really relaxed the rules for the summer because I know that Jerry Snodgrass really he loves high school coaches working with their kids. So they want to give us that opportunity. But no, we will not. I don't want to do anything that would jeopardize any type of eligibility for anyone. We definitely wouldn't do that. So we're pretty open, and we definitely follow the rules very tightly, and we'll follow all the state guidelines and the county health department guidelines and open communication with everybody just to make sure everybody's safe and no issues with eligibility.
Coach, on a completely different subject, I wanted your opinion based out of curiosity. We have always talked about how baseball in the spring is not really that great in terms of the weather. You never know what's going to happen with the weather. Sometimes it snows, sometimes it's god-awful cold, and sometimes it just rains like all get out. Obviously, calendar-wise, it would make much more sense for baseball to be played in the fall. Now, unfortunately, if you did that, you would run into a buzzsaw called football. How much potential damage would be done, in your opinion, if you had baseball in the fall rather than the springtime in the state of Ohio?
Well, with football, to coincide with football?
Exactly.
Yeah, it wouldn't work. I think that, Northeast Ohio in particular, and just the state of Ohio, football is so big. And the fall is not thought of as a baseball time. And I think to get kids to flip their minds that way would be really hard. And then also, especially with all the small schools in our area, it's a lot of the same kids. So kids would have to choose one or the other, and I don't think that's fair to either sport. And I also think it would be if a couple of your better football players, or if baseball's number one, and they choose baseball and don't play football, now you're running into some safety issues number-wise for football, because numbers are pretty low in a lot of the schools. I mean, a lot of teams in our area, in our league, were 30s, players, 20s, 30s, maybe 40s, and the lower numbers, it becomes a safety issue with certain players on the field. So I would never fathom it. The only thing I could think of is pushing the baseball season back into the summer a little bit more after school. I know some states already do that. Iowa is actually starting their high school baseball season like right now, and they typically start like May 4th and go into July. I think that would be a better alternative if you're looking to change something because of the weather. But you're 100% right. The end of March, the early April we know our month of April was like March this year. We had a couple of nice days, but we were snowing at the end of April. So, if you start in May and finish in July, I think you get a better opportunity than moving it to the fall. I just don't think that it wouldn't be able to go side to side with football. Football would dominate it.
Coach Wolf, always a pleasure. Best of luck in this league. I'm really looking forward to seeing just how well it's received around the area. I know the kids are going to have a blast, considering we didn't have a baseball season this year, high school baseball. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of kids that are going to look forward to doing this year.
Yeah, my kids were really excited, and I pulled them earlier in the year, like in April, and asked them about how long would they want to play if we didn't have a season. They were all telling me about end of July, which is a little bit different. Typically, baseball, it seems like it's shifted to by the end of June, everybody's pretty much done. And even if you look at Class B, they're usually wrapping up by the end of June and doing tournaments in early July and about done. Now our kids they just want to play, and they're really excited. When I emailed and started texting kids that this was a go and it was going to happen, we're going to be able to do it, I got a lot of excitement. Like they can't wait just to get out on the field. So with practice, we're starting Monday. We're splitting our practices up to limit the amount of people the first couple of weeks. They're just excited to be out there.
All right, always a pleasure, Coach, and best of luck.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You got it. Columbiana head baseball